Hello and welcome back to the show. Today we are talking with Pat Ginefra, certified financial educator and founder of MyLifeBroker.com. And we've been talking about COVID and retirement. There are some things that have changed and some things that haven't. But one of the things that I guess maybe I was going to say it did change, but it really hasn't, is that wherever you're at on the political spectrum, we can all agree that the government spends a lot of money. And eventually, the bill comes due. It's got to get paid for, and it gets paid for in taxes. And we were talking earlier that people tend to look at taxes in just the immediate now, right now. You go to your CPA, not to say anything bad about CPAs, but you go to a CPA, their concern is this year's tax return. It's not so much what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And what kind of advice or what conversations do you have when it comes to taxes with your clients?
Well, simply, we feel that you need to get the IRS out of your IRA.
Yeah.
And the sooner you do it, the more beneficial it's going to be to you. It's kind of like, I view them as almost a bad business partner, right? Because you continue to drag them along with you in that account.
Yeah.
You're going to continue to share the profits with them. This might be one of the reasons why they continue to spend money like they do. Because they literally have their wagon hitched to yours on every dime you make. So the idea becomes to pay those taxes now, since you're going to have to pay them at some point anyway, beginning at age 72, and then if you pass, your heirs will have just a short 10-year window to liquidate that tax liability.
Now that's the change you're referring right there to, the change to, so the Secure Act, I think that came out, 2 years ago?
Correct, 19 that came out, the
19.
Secure Act of 2019. And it changed two things in the tax landscape. Number one, it moved the required minimum distributions back from 70.5 requirement to age 72. Okay. And everyone thought that was great, but of course the government has a way of, they can kind of give you money with the left hand, and with the right hand they'll reach around and grab your wallet. So basically what they did was they said, okay, we're going to give you a little bit of a reprieve on those RMDs, but now on the inherited IRA, which your beneficiaries were able to stretch over their lifetime, that's now been shrunk to 10 years. So the tax liability on that IRA money that's inherited by a non-spouse now has just a short 10-year window to be liquidated.
Let me say that one back to make sure I got it. So it used to be that your beneficiaries could take your IRA and stretch the taxes out maybe over their life.
That's correct.
And now Uncle Sam said, well, let's bring it back down here. You need to, we want the taxes in this 10-year window at the most. Did I got that right?
That's correct, yep. Which moved a lot of that money up to a much quicker time horizon than they wouldn't have gotten it before. So this is actually a positive thing for the IRS, because they're going to be able to collect that money a lot quicker than they would if they were able to stretch that over generations. What it's done is it's killed the generational transfer of wealth, because now it's a 10-year cycle that you have. And that income is going to go on top of their other income that they earn, and could potentially force them into a higher bracket.
Oh, I get you. Oh, so by squishing it to 10, it's a bigger amount. That's treated as ordinary income, so all of a sudden I'm just fine right here, and all of a sudden I've got another chunk of income on top.
On top of that, exactly. So it's very much of an unknown at that point. What we feel is in the client's best interest is to really establish that tax strategy now. Try to retire those taxes as quickly as you can. And that's where the big savings are. If you run that out and you start doing Roth conversions and you start to generate additional income, right, or additional growth of the assets without the tax component, now you're really adding fuel to that retirement nest egg. So we think the taxes and getting them out of the way, the sooner that you can do that, the better. Yeah,
absolutely. You know what? We all believe in paying our fair share, just not anymore.
Yes, absolutely. And you will pay your fair share, by the way. There's not any getting around that. So it's really the inevitable is what we're dealing with here. And when we show a client that, we're showing them that this tax obligation is not going away. Unfortunately, it is the model that brought a lot of folks to retirement in that deferred income model, which is the 401k or the 403b. All that liability has been deferred. And of course, at today's tax rates, that's one issue, but what if taxes continue to go up tomorrow? It's almost like having an adjustable rate mortgage. You really don't know what that liability is going to be.
Yeah.
So we want to lock that in for our clients. We want to show them a clearer path to retirement. And we want to show them a tax-free retirement as soon as possible.
Buy out that bad business partner.
It's just like a bad business partner, yep. You want to buy them out, and you want to do it, you want to buy them out as low as you can. We really feel like today the tax rates are on sale based on, the historical levels of taxation. If you look at it today, they're literally on sale.
I think if you look back at historical tax rates, like you're saying, and then you look at, there's just a lot of spending going on. And eventually, it just seems logical that eventually the bill comes due and it's going to come from taxation.
You would think so.
Someday.
So, the quickest way to insulate it is to get the taxes out of the way. Again, because there's no way around that. That's a liability that you made that's going to stay with you forever until you actually pay it.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of confusion around the Roth conversion because people confuse conversions with contributions. Contributions, as you know, are income-based and they're limited.
Yeah.
But conversions, you can be unlimited in your Roth conversions that you do.
Let's let's take a break and let's explore that. I want to talk about Roth conversions. We're going to do that after the break, so come right back with us. Pat and I are going to talk about Roth conversions. We do need to talk about fluctuations in the market. And then I teased about talking about houses a little bit, so we're going to talk about that in the next segment. We look forward to seeing you.